just think you can flap your yap. No cap, yo, we looking at the facts and stats. Second city gritty to across the map. Put your cleats on your feet while we run some laps. Buckle up your seat while we have some chats. Who the GOAT on the court, pictures and running backs. Plug in your jacks and you're whipping your phone. Shalom, let's get it on, just a set in the tone.
Welcome, everyone, to the Setting the Tone podcast. This is Tone. I'm joined by a couple diehard Bears fans with me. I got my guy Earl for the first time. What's going on, my man? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Could be better circumstances, but I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yes, sir. Anytime. And a regular contributor with me, my man J Mac. What's going on, my brother?
Not good, but we going.
All right, well, let's get into the nitty gritty of it all. I know I got a big grin on my face, but that's just because I like talking sports and all, but I'm really not feeling all that great after yesterday's game against the Kansas City Chiefs, a game that I felt like, although they're the Super Bowl champions, they weren't playing all that well coming into that game. They were only averaging 18 and a half points coming into that game. So I'm like, oh, yeah, they ain't hit their stride yet. We can catch them early. We can get them. And what happened? 41-10.
What happened is them boys woke up.
Right. I figure we catch them before they get out hit on all cylinders. They ain't hitting yet. So it was over by halftime, really. So
yeah. I mean, 18 points was there by the end of the first. The 18 was there, so it wasn't nothing but up from there with them. So
it was a wrap.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it just me, or do it seem like we regressing a little bit, man? I don't understand. I don't understand why we're not looking better.
Yes.
You would see that he put something, with the draft and free agency. It seems like we should be looking better than this.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, my brother. What do you mean a little bit?
Something more than what we something that give us hope. Right now, it seems like it's over. In 3 games of the season,
on paper, we had a lot of hope. We had a lot of hope on paper, but man, to a little bit.
Yeah, I was saying on another episode where I thought, or maybe it was a conversation, probably, where I was like, okay, we can build off of the end of last season, and grow from there. I feel like we went back to the beginning of last season, and starting all over from scratch, which you shouldn't be doing with the same head coach and the same assistant coaches and the same leaders on the team as far as the quarterback and stuff like that. Seemed like, okay, why are we starting over? We supposed to be getting better from where we ended,
Yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly thought that we would build off last season and progress from there. But as my man Earl just said, we're regressing and at an alarming rate. There's no way we can have the talent that we have, and we look like shit.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It just seems like, again, with the talent we had, the same coaches, the same scheme, the same playbook, all the major coaches still there. We should be looking a whole lot better. It's mind-boggling when you look at it. It's almost like they were playing a high school team. It's everything looks, as Justin Field put it, robotic. It's like we out there going through the motion of bona fide scrimmage, so to speak.
Right. It's like we still in preseason trying to figure out the schemes and everything. Like, why are we here? So, with all of that being said, fellas, what is the problem, or what are the problems? Anyone could jump in right here. What do you think are the problems?
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay. It starts with quarterback play. I think that he's not where he should be, whether that's his fault or the QB coach. He seems like he's struggling to make decisions. When he does decide to run, he's got about 3 or 4 people bearing down on him. I think he's got to do what he says he's going to do. He has to play loose. Be you. If you have to run, but make a decision already.
Mhm.
Um, I think Chase Claypool is not who we thought he was. I don't know if he's in his own head or uh, the potential is maybe he hit his own the ceiling already. I don't know, but he's not panning out. And then our offensive line is banged up. They're not doing what we needed to do. So I think it's a myriad of problems that can get better with time. But I don't think that the fan base is going to allow this staff or the team the time that they need to get better because, as James said, we should be there already with the same people in place.
Hmm.
Yeah, just to go off what you were saying is, you got to put some of that on coaching as well. We
Yeah.
we 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 don't look prepared. We don't look ready when we get out there. Um, Plays, especially on offense, look clustered. Man, is we just don't look ready, and Fields don't look ready. And to me, that just goes back to coaching because I don't see where Luke Getsy has developed a quarterback. When he got there, A-Rod, he was already A-Rod. What can you add to that? But a few hiccups here and there. Dude was already A-Rod, but he hasn't developed no quarterback. And offensive plays don't look good. Now, when you got two receivers in the same area running the same route,
For the second week in a row.
yeah, no one's open. So it's like when he get back to the top of his drop back, he has no one to throw the ball to because no one's open. So of course that eternal day when you get to the top of your drop back and no one's open, your first instinct is to take off. But with everybody playing Justin the way he is, the way they are, there's no lanes open. You can't spin out because you're gonna have a spy on them. They're not gonna just let them run free. So it's a combination of a lot of things. That's what's
Yeah.
wrong with us.
Man,
Yeah.
one thing I was thinking. So the Bears went out and upgraded the talent on defense. Supposedly upgraded the talent. I believe they upgraded the talent. I believe the talent is better than the talent we had last year. And
Fair.
we're still getting destroyed defensively. So I'm trying to figure out like what's the problem? Like, are we running the wrong scheme for this talent, or are we calling the wrong plays for this talent? The talent doesn't look like it's not hungry for anything. I don't know, but something's not clicking with this talent that's on this team. I want to put it on the coaching, and it probably should be, but players have to take accountability as well. Missing tackles, getting dragged on tackles, things like that. Um, Filling those holes, those lanes on the running plays and stuff like that. At the same time, it's like, where is where the coach? What the coach is going to do next? What can the coach do next? It's like you're out here coaching this scheme, and then we got the head coach calling the plays, and they putting up 41 on us, a team that was averaging 18 and a half.
Exactly. And they were banged up. Pacheco and
Mhm.
Tony, both of those guys were banged up. Um, Chris just coming back from his hiatus and waiting on his money to check in. So we should look better than we did. I think you can't overlook what we're going through with the break into the stadium with the defensive coordinator issues. I don't think you can overlook that because if they bought into the system and he was the head coach of the defense, that's going to affect them in some type of way. Now they're all grown, man. I understand they're making millions, but and when you buy into somebody's scheme and you really plan for them, it does make a difference when they check out on you or whatever's going on. Nobody seems to know exactly what's going on with Allen. So I
Yeah.
think that's an issue. I think there is a lot of new talent in, and with that new talent, they have to gel. So, they didn't play an awful lot during preseason.
That's true.
Now that's the good part. That's the good part about what I have to say.
Wait, that was
Exactly.
quick. No,
Now here's here's the football in me. Grown man making millions. This ain't your first rodeo. Get up off your butt and make a play. Edmonds and Edwards both. Both of them been playing on Super Bowl caliber teams, and they look like stars that they getting paid like. So make a play. I don't care what the scheme is. You can play football, and then the rest of the team will start feeding off that. Somebody have to make a splash play somewhere.
Yeah.
All that running Fields did last year, it's not a surprise anymore. They got film on you, buddy. So yeah, it's going to be harder to run. But at least when you decide to run, don't do it after you had the ball in your hand 3.5 seconds. Everybody has a bearing on you now. So, I think it's more than just a game or two that's going to get us back on track. They got to have better practice, maybe a couple fights in practice. I don't know. Something with a splash effect needs to happen with this team.
Yeah. And I also feel like, I know it's not part of Eberflus's DNA to blitz, but I think we need more of that in order to generate some type of pressure on the quarterback, because the quarterback on the opposite team, he just got days back there, man. He could, and you run it, and then you run in a zone. He just gonna pick the zone apart.
Days and not weeks.
Weeks too, shit. I mean, Mahomes just picked us apart, man. He picked us apart. We sitting there in the zone with no blitz.
Yeah,
it's like no pressure at all. It's like that's just easy for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and to me, that's the wrong person to leave back there. Period.
Yeah.
That dude, you just do not leave back there.
Yeah.
You got to get him off his spot. And he did.
He's so patient with it too. He's just very patient. I mean, you can be patient if nobody coming hitting in your face either. So
between 5 and 7 seconds later, you could be patient if you got 5
man
and
back
7
there making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Man.
Living his best life. And the position.
You know how long it takes to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
And then on top of it, we had to, like you mentioned yesterday, Jerome, we had to make Nagy look good, dog.
Exactly. And I don't know how many people actually, because I was looking like, I know he got to be chomping at the bit to get back at the people who fired him. I don't care.
Yeah.
He look on the sideline like it's not a big deal, but come on, your prior, employment, and you make him look like that. Oh yeah, I know they had a cigar, a football waiting on him when he got in the locker room.
Oh yeah, they was high fiving him and rubbing him on the head. I bet.
But at the same time, it's still those same trash ass plays. The plays are trash.
Yeah, too many moving pieces.
What I say? One man's trash is another man's treasure.
There you go. That's the way we made him look yesterday, man. And it's, I'm laughing now, man. But somebody need a foot up their butt in that organization. I just don't get it. You get this man. We made Baker Mayfield look like he belonged in the Hall of Fame. I was at that game, by the way, and I'm telling you, he looked so well rested. He didn't look like he played that day. He had so much time to throw the ball. And if you're going to run that kind of coverage without any pressure, it is a bona fide scrimmage. You're going to run zone and can't get pressure on the quarterback. He's just going to wait for somebody to come open.
That's 7 on 7.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
That's 7 on 7. And
we got to get something. The pressure could be the splash play that I was talking about. Something. We got to do something.
We have nobody. I mean, bad as I hate to say, you should have went out and got Hargrave. That would have been, if you're not going to draft Carter, go get Hargrave.
Yeah.
3-tech.
Facts.
Disruptive.
Yeah. Have you checked Carter's stats? That man is having a nice year.
Jalen Carter
is playing.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, if you want to see Fields progress, you gotta give him a line.
Mm-hmm.
And drafting Carter, okay, I understand that. I mean, not draft. I mean, if we had to go get right. We need some offensive line help, horribly bad, especially within that interior.
Yeah.
So you got to get some bookend tackles.
I hear what you're saying. They could have done better as far as the free agency and gotten Hargrave and still drafted right. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go out and
Yeah.
get that 3 tech.
Yeah.
It was one out there. You just
There was
didn't
several.
pony up the money to get them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to build it from the ground up. I don't think this fan base is going to allow them the time they need. We're sick of it.
Nah.
You can at least if they were at least beating the Packers, we would sit back and wait because there would be some trust there.
Thank you.
But
Exactly.
if you
I
can't
can
at
be
least beat the
patient.
Packers, if you can't at least beat the Packers, then don't ask us to be patient. I mean,
Yeah.
I just it's horrible. It's horrible what we're seeing right now, and I think the fans deserve more. And what you said about getting the defensive 3 technique is absolutely correct because I teach my kids, and like I said, I coach from 6 to 14. The line runs the game on both sides of the ball. Nobody's getting a touchdown. Ain't gonna be no gritties and none of that if the offensive line doesn't give the protection that it needs to give. There's not gonna be any interceptions or any sacks if we can't get pressure with the front 4. So if your line isn't where it needs to be on both sides of the ball, it's gonna be a long day all season. That's just the realization of it.
So transitioning to that all season, do you see this team making any huge strides this season with the remaining 14 games? Or is it going to be incremental, like a little improvement here and there? Or we got to, at the end of the season, you looking at a new coaching staff?
If I had my hand in it at the end of the season, we looking at a new coaching staff.
So we're not overreacting right now, or
I don't think so.
no?
I don't think so. We should be seeing more again.
I mean, we lost in a row again.
12 in a row, right?
13.
13.
13.
That's unlucky 13.
Yeah. No, we can't see 13 in a row and then still feel ecstatic about this coaching staff.
And they said this is the worst in Bears history, 13 in a row.
Yeah. And then you also look at we were looking better losing last year. You know, we had some things to look at.
Exactly.
Or look
we
up
looked
to.
a lot better losing.
Yeah. Right
Hey,
now,
man.
I'm telling you, we regressed.
It's got to be coaching, man. It's got to be.
It's got to, yeah.
We
Well,
can't be regressing from last year with better players and another year in the system. The system ain't systeming. It ain't. Yeah, it's got to be.
When you look up in Roquan gone, and you know, I forget the defensive end that went to Philly.
Quinn.
And you're getting rid of those guys. You understand it was a money move because for what they paid Raquan over in Baltimore, we got both Edwards and Edmonds. So it was a good move.
Who hasn't performed up to they salary? I'm
no,
sorry.
They haven't. They haven't
performed up to their
that's
salary.
what I'm saying. You got stars out there. Make a play. I don't care what the scheme is. Make a play. You know, make a splash play. Make everybody else feel good about why we brought you in, and then spend that money on that bookend tackle or the big 3 technique. Give us some type of hope. And to answer your question again, I think that at the end of this year, if we don't get any better than what we are now, I don't think that there will be any question to it. The coaching staff has to go. You know, look, I mean, you got a defensive-minded coach,
and the defense is trash.
And how can that be? Because I saw what he did in Indianapolis, and they look good in Indianapolis. And I think when he first got there, we got more talent now than what he had when he first got to Indianapolis and built on that.
Damn.
So I just don't understand it. It doesn't look like we're prepared for this season at all.
Yeah, with you saying the scheme of things, when you don't have that defensive line up front to keep them linebackers clean so they can make plays downhill, as I've told Tony before, they're going to be making tackles 5 to 6 yards down the field.
Down the field, yeah.
By the time they actually get to see the running back is in their chest.
Yeah, that's the killer part right there. You're not going downhill. You're going backwards because they running you over.
Right.
Yeah. You're not flowing to the play. You're chasing the play, and that's always going to be a problem. I don't care what kind of shape you're in the fourth quarter. All that chasing gives way to big plays.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
We got some young boys, and they flash.
Yeah.
We need more than flash.
Right.
We need them to play consistently. Billings, D-Walk, Green. Yannick, we need them boys to play.
Yeah.
10 million a season, you got what? Maybe 2 or 3 pressures and 1 sack. We
Yeah.
walk. You can't play without that big guy in the middle. That we ain't got that guy from Tennessee.
Right.
That's eating up everything in the middle.
Right.
So you got to go out there and make some splash plays yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's it.
I also feel like we don't commit to the run enough, man. Like we'll run the ball here and there, but we don't steady feed our running backs to wear out the other team's D line. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we do that enough. What y'all feel about that?
I agree. We don't highlight the run enough. All them plays just going up the middle. We supposed to be an outside zone run and doing a lot of stuff up the middle, in which to me the middle of the line is not where it's at. You get them boys out on the perimeter and let them go up against them DBs out there and break a few runs. They yeah, I have to agree. They're not committing to the run enough.
Yeah, it's like here, there, and not steady feeding them, pounding them, pounding them. Fourth quarter, they worn out on the defense, and then we could just push them backwards. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why our play calling just terrible, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Again, that's why I say it's kind of like high school. I'm gonna punctuate on both what both you said. I go back to the Tampa Bay game. We had the rookie, which is Johnson. He was averaging 4.7 yards a carry. Khalil was averaging 5, and yet we didn't run the ball more.
Right.
That, and especially against a team like Kansas City who can get it hot in the blink of an eye. You need to keep that guy, Mr. Mahomes, on the sideline a little bit more.
Right. Control the clock.
Control the clock. You have to run the ball effectively.
Yeah.
I think we have the tools. Outside the line, been a little banged up. We have the tools to do that, and we don't give it the respect it deserves. And with the respect that the running backs are getting nowadays, it's not hard to figure out why. And then I'm gonna take you back a little bit. Chicago, we're really just coming into the age of where we're running 11 or 22 personnel, a spread offense. And remember, we was bang, 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 pass, bang, 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 pass. Run, 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 pass. So I don't know that we have the right quarterbacking staff to move us into that type of football, and then the defense needs to give offense more time on the field by stopping somebody every once in a while.
Right, some 3 and outs. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at our percentage on third down. And it's not
third. It was horrible yesterday. 10 of what was it? 10 of 12 or 10 of 14 on third down.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I seen the 8 for, I think it was 8 for 12 or something, I stopped paying attention after that. It was so heartbreaking, man. I just had my wife like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "You know what? We'll be okay." And I just had to turn from it.
I don't even want to talk about that part.
Hey, we got to be the worst third down team on defense in the league. We have to, because
over 50%.
It's over 50% every week.
Over 50%
every
week.
Over 50,
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Can't get off the field, and we can't get on the field. Yeah. And when we get on the field, it's 3 and out. 3 and out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's to do with both. That's play calling. That's execution.
Yeah.
And, you give the ball to the guys that can pound it in there. And like you said, Tony, fourth quarter is a different story. Nobody wants to see Khalil or the Johnson in the fourth quarter running downhill. Nobody.
No.
But even some of the play designs is not good.
No, it's elementary.
I can run that. Yeah, like you said in elementary, I can run that. I'm not even a coach.
Hey, look at this though. The disparity, like as far as like staying on the field, they had 38 pass attempts and 38 carries. That's the Chiefs. The Bears had 22 pass attempts and 26 carries. We're not staying on the field. We're not staying on the field. It shouldn't.
That's almost 30 more plays. That's almost 30 more plays.
Exactly.
And look at the time of possession. They had what, damn near 34 minutes to our 20, 26, 23, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
You're not going to generate anything.
Yeah. And then, one thing I always try to tell my assistant coaches, a lot of them, when things don't go right, the number one thing they want to do is yell to get the attention of the players.
Mhm.
And I tell them, don't demoralize them. And that's what's
Right.
going to happen. That's what's going to happen with this team. They're going to lose the locker room because they're going to be demoralized with the effort they're putting on the field. You can eat, and I say, coaches, and players play, but it
I'm
still has
sorry,
to
but
be some
that
type of
locker room
gelling
is
in there.
already gone.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's any trust with the play calling or the system that we're running right now. I don't think it is.
You can
I
tell
think
by
that
some
locker
of
room
the
is already gone.
you can tell by some of the answers they give in the press nowadays. It's just canned answers. There's not any thought behind it. It's just like, well, we just gotta keep doing what we're doing and it'll come. Stuff like that. It's like, yeah, they spirits are broken right now.
But that
And
kind of answer tells me that they don't know what's wrong right now. I don't think anybody, I think it's still snowballing right now. I don't think they know how to fix it. I don't think they know what's wrong.
mm,
When you get the kind of the turnout, like the first game, he hit. I'm sorry, when I speak first, I'm talking about preseason. When he hit DJ Moore and DJ Moore took it to the house and he hit Khalil, there were high hopes. All of
oh
us like,
yeah.
okay, here we go. Now we looking
Yeah,
like something. First game, none of that. Second game, none of
that's
that.
not enough
Third game,
though.
none of that.
That's
Right.
not
It's
enough. Not
exactly
in
the
preseason.
portion size that we got from preseason. It wasn't enough. You have to keep. They have done anything to say keep those boys on the sideline. Fields needed to work. DJ Moore and him needed to connect better. Chase Claypool needed every kind of work he can get right now. Mooney was hurt. We didn't. I mean, you don't. They can't afford to sit on the sideline during preseason
So
when we're playing like this today.
is that so? So are you saying we just played 3 preseason games just now?
That's what it looked like. Tell me it
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
Tell me it didn't.
yeah.
And with our so-called starters, I mean, look at it. Look at what they're putting on the field. The product that we're putting on the field right now. Ohio State would have beat us yesterday.
Oh hell no! I don't know about that one. Damn.
I would say Wyoming would beat us right now.
At least I
You
said
know,
Ohio State, man.
Y'all so
we probably lose
disrespectful.
to a Division II team right now.
Y'all
They're
so,
disrespectful to us. Look at how they do us, man.
I
All that
agree.
just beat Green Bay. You beat Green Bay, you get a pass.
Yeah,
They
you know
don't
what?
walk.
I
You
agree.
said it earlier. If we didn't won the game against Green Bay, they would have some grace period right now with us. It's like, okay, we won
Yeah.
Green Bay, so these other 2 games, we
We
good.
have a lot of they get a huge grace period with me.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
beat Green Bay,
But to
but
let
when
it
you go
turn
out
in that
there,
game and then follow that with 2 more turds.
You
man,
got, the demon is gone. You know, he's over over in New York now. He's not playing, but he's there. And then you go out there and let them put 38 up on us. If we'd have won that game, we would have already given them a pass for this year. Honestly speaking, if
Mm.
we'd have won that game, everything would have been up from there, no matter how it looked. You know, but to get drugged by those guys and then to lay that dud against a big, and I'm sorry, I don't want to make him seem like he can't play, but you guys know Baker is not that good.
Yeah, yeah.
We made him look like a Pro Bowl quarterback in every way. He even ran on us a couple times, looking like, Aaron with the letting everything develop in front of him and
he
then taking off.
he actually
it's
looked
horrible.
like Fields. He actually looked like Fields. He could escape the pocket, something
Yeah,
that Fields hasn't been able to do so far this season.
yeah, yeah. Again, they got film on Fields now, so all that is not going to happen like it did last. But he had several times where he could have took off for at least the first down. I almost think he's in his own head. He wants to prove that he can do more than run. And I think that's why he said he needs to be playing a little bit loose and just be himself. Well, then go ahead and do that, young man. At least we can see the effort.
Just be dynamic where they gotta figure you out, not you sitting back there taking hits. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
But
yeah.
when that pocket is collapsing within 2 seconds, how dynamic can you be?
That's
Yeah.
that's that's true. That's
Good
true.
point.
But even with that, and I don't mean to cut anybody off. When you go back to the Tampa Bay game, there were several plays where the pocket did collapse, and there was a running back or a tight end sitting in the flats wide open, good for at least 10 yards. And when you look at the film they did on I think it was First Take, they were running the film where you can see those guys easily open in the flats for at least 10 yards. And he was doing the check downs. His eyes was in the right place, but he wanted the biggest splash plays. I get it. But you have to build from something. You don't even have the foundation yet to say that we can go downfield and throw the ball like that.
That's where the running game comes in at.
Isn't that the strength of his game, the downfield? That's when he came to the league. You know,
that's what they said. That's what they said.
Yeah, and just piggybacking off of that, the downfield plays, DJ Moore has to make that. He got to make that catch.
Yeah,
right in the bread basket, and you expect DJ Moore to make that catch.
So there were like 3 plays like that where I saw not just DJ Moore, but there was the DJ Moore bread basket. Should have made him. DJ Moore always makes that catch. That would have kept the drive going. There was also the one where Claypool didn't go up for the ball. He kind of waited for it to come to him.
Yeah.
And the DB all over him now. It's too late. It's too late.
Yeah.
You got. And then wasn't it another one that was tipped and it became interception or something like that?
Yeah.
Right.
It's it. Yeah.
Those are 3 passes that were catchable.
Yeah.
I ain't saying we could have won, but could have looked better on.
I'm going to say this: those plays happened early enough in the game that it could have indeed been and put a different spin on the game. I'm not saying we would have won either, but we would have had a better chance. It wouldn't have gotten away from us that fast. That Claypool one that you're talking about, that started it all because he didn't high point the ball.
Right.
And that's something you learn. Again, I hate to keep saying it. We learned that in elementary, man.
Right. Look, the man is 6'4". The man is 6'4". Why is he waiting for the ball? You can
gotta go up and get it
for the ball like a basketball player, man. Let him figure you out. Why you just letting him take over the game? It's like the DB should not be more aggressive on a pass than the receiver.
Especially on a team that hasn't won a game yet. Especially on a team that's playing to defend the Super Bowl champs. The effort we put out there should have been a lot more. We should have came and take game as okay, we 0-2 now. Let's put something on film so to put the whole league on notice. And they had an opportunity to do that.
We just wasn't ready.
Honestly, that was my thinking. I'm like, we're gonna put something out there, let the league know, the Bears are coming. That the early season woes was just some early season stuff. But we about to catch the Chiefs right now. And
we had, they were not full strength. We had a time. We could have. That was the time to catch them at their lowest or weakest point because they weren't worried about us. You can tell the plays they were running were so disrespectful. That was plays.
Yeah,
come on, they ran the same play about 8 times where they sent the guy in the slot on a stream play or a street play, and the guy came right behind him and cut across the middle. They ran that play about 8 times, man. And I think they maybe in the second quarter, right before half, was the only one I seen that they didn't complete. That's crazy.
That's bad coaching. They not prepared.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line. We're not prepared to play.
And the crazy part is last season we didn't get pressure on the quarterback. However, our DBs covered that up for us. They were able to still play aggressive and still take away some things back there, the corners and the safeties and stuff like that. But this season, they ain't taking away nothing. It's like, and I understand. I mean, the DBs need help from the line. It's just that we didn't need that last year. Now we do. We need both of them to work hand in hand.
And they're banged up. I mean, every time you look around, Brisker's on the ground getting checked out again.
Every game, right?
Yeah. And remember, it was some question to where he would even play that first game. So I think that plays into it. I think when you look at our defensive secondary, there 3 out of the 4 positions are banged up. I think the only one that's healthy back there is Johnson. When you look at it,
I think he got hurt as well yesterday.
And as a result of trying to do more than you have to, you try to preach, and even me, I preach to my kids. You do your job. The moment you try to help the person next to you do his job, that's when you get burned. And I think, as a professional and you're out there with your brothers in arms, you do tend to try to help. And I think that gets you hurt in more ways than one. You're going to get burnt over the top, or you're going to stretch yourself too thin and get yourself hurt.
Facts. Just get back in the huddle and talk to your brother like, hey, man, you got to cover this like this or cover that better or whatever,
Yeah. And then before we move on, let me just add this. One of the things that make a good coach, in my opinion, is the ability to adjust. We can't adjust to save our lives, whether it's quarter to quarter, half to half. Where's the adjustments? Well, how can they do the same thing to us that they're doing in the first half? It doesn't make sense.
You know, every game I say this, it's like, all right, we're gonna come out in the second half with an adjustment. And
that hasn't happened in 3 games.
yeah.
There's been no adjustment. There's been no halftime adjustments in 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even yesterday with the game out of control, you could have still made an adjustment for something to look forward to next week. You know what I mean?
Put something on tape,
right?
To put it to go into next week. Even when the game was away, they still you listen. You haven't did anything in 3 games to say that you can come back from that big of a deficit. So let's run the ball. Let's run some screens, hit some guys in the flat. Let's see what other weapons we got out there, man. Something.
Turn the page on the playbook to those plays you ain't using. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now was the time when you run those screens. Exactly. Not when you 10 yards back in your own territory. You don't run screens in. And then 3 in a row on top of that.
What is the deal with the play calling inside the 10? And I mean, you know, I know I'm beating a dead horse. Tampa Bay game. You just ran the screen. You had just got a penalty called on that screen. How hard was it for Tampa Bay to peep out your next play? They said it when they did the interview after the game. We knew it was coming. Everybody in the stadium knew it was coming. How you call a screen back to back on your 3-yard line?
And just look, this yesterday's game, how many screens did they actually run? I didn't see one.
Not very many.
I didn't see one.
No, and with that talent, with that speed, with DJ Moore and what's the rookie name? Stevenson, I believe.
That's Tyler Scott.
Yeah,
Tyler Scott. I'm sorry. Yeah, with that type of speed, that's what you should be doing. Get him in some open space and let's see what he can do. The game is out of reach. You might as well see if we got something in this guy.
Right. Facts.
You know, with his rookie contract, we're not worried about paying him. Let's see what we need to put into him to make him a guy that we want to keep in Chicago.
Right.
You know, we have. I mean, when you think about it, again, they don't have an offense coordinator that's doing jack. You know, I didn't like Mike Martz, but when Mike Martz was here, we had 2 1,400-yard receivers. Get you a guy that knows offense, and let him do what he need to do.
That just reminded me of something I forgot to write down, but I was like, we got to talk about this. Our entire coaching staff never been what they are. Fluke's never been a head coach. Getsey's never been an offensive coordinator. Even our GM never been a GM. We have rookies basically at all the important positions, and it looks like it.
It does.
But
William Allen's first time as defensive coordinator was last year. Remember?
Right.
Actually,
1 year in.
No, he was a defensive coordinator in Minnesota, I believe. And he stunk it up there.
Okay. He stunk it up
there. That one. I thought he was. I thought when they promoted him up last year, that was his first. Okay.
Nah, that dude
still to the point with the other guys. It's like we surrounded our players with coaches who never had this type of experience.
Yeah.
Why didn't we have a veteran in there, a veteran coach somewhere in there, whether it's the head coach, whether it's the OC, or whether it's the DC? Get a veteran coach in there that knows what's going on. You know what I'm saying? These guys look like they just figuring it out like we figuring it out.
Exactly.
Learning on the fly.
You got guys like us making sense more than our coaching staff. That's not anything. I mean, it sounds good for us on the podcast, but when you got these guys running our whole organization, it doesn't sound good at all.
Right. And it's like, I forgot what I was going to say. But the coaching staff is not the coaching staff none of us would have picked. None of us wanted Eberflus.
No. I didn't know he was. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And
I didn't know he was. I had to do my homework. When we picked him, I had to do my homework on him.
Yeah. None of us wanted him. There were some veteran coaches out there that we interviewed. And what's the guy from Detroit? Was it Caldwell we interviewed?
Yeah.
He was the guy I wanted. He was the guy I wanted. I was like, okay, veteran head coach. He's been there, seen that, done that. And who was the guy that you wanted, Jerome?
I wanted Quinn.
You wanted Dable.
No, actually I wanted Dayball.
You wanted Dable, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted Dayball. But
Why we
they
didn't? Why
only
we
they
didn't?
only presented three head coaches for opposed to interview. They wanted one of them three coaches,
Yeah.
which
I
was
don't.
horrible.
I don't understand why they didn't go after Sean Payton.
They had to
That didn't
pay.
even make a
You got to pay a bounty to get him. That was
I
what the
get it.
deal was.
I get it. But when you're trying to do what we're trying to do as an organization, that's what you need. You need at least, even if he don't make it, he's going to put some bricks into place that we can build off of.
Yeah.
You know, and what about all these young hot shots? You know, look at Shanahan. You know, look at
Right. Coach somebody from his staff. Yeah.
Look at the guy down in Miami. What's his name? The young kid down in Miami. You know, all these young kids with all these ideas. You know, the one coach in the Rams, they offenses is doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
Get one of these young hot shots out here or something. If you're going to get somebody new, because you went from Nagy, who had never did it before,
Right.
to Flus, who had never did it before. How's that an improvement in any way?
Right. You're running a treadmill in place.
That's it.
Me personally, I would have never chosen Getson. Just on the fact, just on the strength, he's from the Packers. I would have never chosen Getson.
I didn't understand
He's
that.
sabotaging us, huh?
Thank you.
Hey, it looked like it.
Thank you. No, I would have never chosen Getson.
No, that's just me being a Bear fan. I just never would have picked anybody from the Packers staff. Whether I know we're joking now, but it just doesn't look good to me. I wouldn't do it.
Thank you. I
He
agree.
had to be the last coach available, and then even then, I'm looking down my staff from last year before I put a Packer in place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of young, brilliant talent out there just to go to the Packers and grab theirs.
Yeah.
Nah, he didn't do enough for me. He didn't develop Rodgers. He only got there. Well, he was their wide receiver coach, and hell, our receivers are still trash.
I thought he was a quarterback coach. Wasn't he?
I think
Yes, he was.
that came along afterwards. He was a receivers coach as well.
Okay, he was at first and then became a quarterback coach.
Yeah, he became the quarterback coach. Yeah, but you can argue that Rodgers made him. Him and Nathaniel.
That ain't even an argument. That ain't even an argument.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not even an argument.
Especially when you see what he producing with us right now from last year to this year, what he's producing, it's a fact that Rodgers made him. He created this opportunity, or Rodgers created this opportunity for him.
Facts.
He made better adjustments last season than he's doing this year. What happened?
Part of the regression.
Yeah.
Man. Moving along here. So next week we play the Denver Broncos, who just got beat 70-10.
Better hope it ain't the other way around.
Man.
70-20. My bad, Broncos. Y'all had 20. But so with two teams that just got trounced this week, can we get our first win?
You know, it's go ahead, Jay. Go ahead. Because of my tongue tie. Go ahead, Jay, man.
Man, I'm gonna say this again. I said this last week. I hope we don't be the catalyst for them to take off. For their offense to find their place. For their offense to find their footing. I hope we not that team again.
They just took a historic L, man. It hasn't been an L like that since 1960 something.
I agree.
Points.
But at the same time,
I think they're gonna be demoralized. You think they're gonna get up for us?
Man, who wouldn't get up for us?
Yeah. That becomes the question right there. Who wouldn't? I think Sean is gonna have them boys so charged up. When he take his foot out their ass from what they did yesterday, I think that this practice is going to be intense, just like ours should be. And I think he's going to have those boys fired up. That's just Sean. Sean, this ain't sitting well with Sean. Sean ain't used to this. So as opposed to what we have on staff, this is all, I think our guys on our staff deals with the headlights. I think Sean is infuriated. He's not used to this.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a quarterback that can do what he needs to be done. I think he's going to take it to their ass this week. And I think they're absolutely going to be chomping at the bit to get on the field against us. And if that first series on defense isn't somebody getting popped in the mouth, again, you better hope it ain't the other way around. You better hope they don't hang 70 on us.
Yeah, With that being said, after that first defensive series, if somebody don't get hit in the mouth, we're gonna be in for a long day.
And then that's gonna translate to a long season.
Yeah, it's already a long season. Shit.
Hey man, I think
I was trying not to say that.
I think y'all giving the Broncos too much love on that one. They 0-3 like us, man. They ain't showed anything. They had 3 chances to show something.
I think they've shown more than us. They at least got the coach who will give them the rah-rah and put their foot in their ass. We don't have that.
And he's a proven offensive-minded coach. Proven. He's proven with a proven quarterback.
Yeah.
And it's not so much as me giving it them credit. I'm not giving us any. It's on our end where I say that we're gonna get to 70 hung up. It's nothing that Denver do, but if you do like they do in basketball and they say guard against guard, you go coach against coach, Sean. Quarterback against quarterback, Russ. Defense against defense, theirs.
Fuck.
They got the players in place as well.
Yeah, you broke that down for me. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's not anything that Denver has done. It's what we haven't done.
Right. I get you. Hey, y'all just drained the life out of me because I'm thinking to myself, all right, this is our first win. Now I'm doubting it. I'm like, maybe not.
It's got to be more. It's got to be better play call. I think you got to. Seems that they should know now
like
who's their strong players. Who's their strong players? Who can do this play? Who should we be throwing the ball on this play? Things that they should know now. We have to figure out so at least we can look competent on the field.
Yeah,
it's like I was telling Tony last week. We need to target DJ more and often.
Yeah, he only had 6 targets this game. I mean,
he should be the first read, the very first read in a passing down, in a passing situation. He should be the first read.
And I agree with that. And what's happening is, I think they're overthinking it. Well, we're not going to get the ball to DJ 5 times in the first series because they're going to start keying on him. Well, guess what? When people key on your superstar, then
everybody else get open.
Another superstar. Maybe Chase can get on. Maybe Tyreek can get on. That's what stars are meant to do.
Yeah, facts. Cole Kmet should be eating everything. When you get on more, Cole Kmet should be eating.
Cole Kmet should be on the same side of the field.
Yeah.
As Boy.
Yes.
With some of them route running, them routes that he run, he's open immediately.
He is.
Immediately he's open. But then on some routes he was covered pretty good. But on them short routes, them short slants, he's open immediately. Give him the ball.
I say Kmet should do the same thing that Kelsey did for Tyreek, and DJ Moore should do the same thing for Kmet that Tyreek did for Kelsey. And when you put them both on the same side of the field, you almost have to have that third and fourth defensive player over there to support. Because, again, Kelsey's going to find that open spot. Tyreek's going to take the top off the coverage. And somebody in between is going to be a star, like a Hartman, or a Tony.
Mooney and Claypool should be eating right there, yeah.
Eating.
They should be open.
I'm telling you.
One-on-one coverage. They should have one-on-one coverage the whole game.
And Mooney runs great routes. Yeah.
Yeah, it would seem like that deep crossing route that we missed on in a few games should be our baby. Because when you got DJ Moore stretching the field, and you got Kmet in that deep or that underneath 10 to 15 yards, that deep 15 to 20-yard cross should be our best friend.
And
that's a Mooney route.
All day.
That's a Mooney route.
All day.
I mean, I watch him run his routes, and the boy run pristine routes. It's like, okay, he's a route technician, and he can get up DBs those fakes and everything. That should be open for him if they like do like y'all said, put Kmet and Moore on the same side of the field.
I'm serious.
Mooney should be for sure.
I hate to speak it into existence, but I think Mooney, I don't think they're going to pick him up because he hasn't put enough on paper for us. I think Mooney's going to go somewhere and be a star.
You know what?
And with that being said, Claypool ain't did enough either.
No.
I don't think
So
Claypool, to be honest, I think Claypool gonna be out here on that first trade deadline. I think he's gonna they're gonna give him away or drop him or something. He's not
So
gonna make it past this year.
yeah, I thought I thought before the season started, when everything looked good on paper, I thought Mooney would be the odd man out. He wouldn't get paid, and Claypool would get paid because he was the different player than what we had on the field. He was big and athletic and all, and long and fast. We don't have anybody like that on the squad. But now that we've seen these 3 games, maybe I'm overreacting. Claypool is the man out, and Mooney, he ain't done anything. He ain't put any numbers up. He might be out too. So we may have to go in that draft, which I'm gonna touch on in a second, and go get us a
Marvin
Marvin
Harris
Harrison
Jr.
Jr.
it's not their fault though.
It's
It's
not.
not. It's
As
not.
bad as I hate to say it,
And
JF1 got to get him the ball.
and that's what I was going to touch on in a second. It's not their fault, and it's going to include Justin. So if the team doesn't progress by the end of the season, say we have a losing season, one of the top 3 worst records in the league, top 5 worst records in the league, but Justin plays decent or plays well, plays good, but the team just sucks. I think the Bears will still be forced to draft a quarterback at that point. At that point, I think they would be forced, if they got the top 2 or 3 picks, they got to get a quarterback. They can't pass on one again. I think they would be forced to draft one and have to trade Justin, even if he has a good season and but the record is poor. What y'all think about that?
Um,
Let's just say
well,
he does finish. He finishes off the season really strong, but the team still not winning what they should be winning. They
why
got
draft another quarterback behind that porous line? Why if you don't bring in another, and just my opinion, you don't bring in another quarterback or another receiver unless you get rid of the coaching staff.
and
And then to put
maybe
it,
that'll happen too if the season is poor as I'm thinking.
but at the same time, you can't put another quarterback behind that line. That line, you're gonna have the same results.
I agree too. I agree with that 100%.
The line is trash. If you don't address the line, why put another quarterback back there?
But are you going to draft the offensive line at the top with the top 5 picks? 2 of the top 5
Yes.
picks?
Here's how I see it. First of all, we're talking about the Bears. They don't always make sense when they draft. You got to remember these are the guys who traded to take Trubisky. Okay, so think about
Who
that.
wasn't developed.
Right. This organization hasn't. Look at Kevin White. This organization just doesn't have a great track record on.
Hey, time out
draft.
real quick. We're talking about a previous regime as far as president and general manager drafting. I think Poles deserve a little credit with his draft picks, with his and a little more grace period, because he's drafted well or well enough. But
Okay.
I don't think you can
Where's the
lump
proof?
him with another GM, is what I'm saying.
I get. Where's the proof though? I mean,
Thank
I
you.
think he did. We all think he did a good job with the draft picks and bringing in the free agents. But where's the proof on paper? Where's the proof on the field?
That
It's
goes
like
back to our
Mike said.
coaching, not developing players, right?
Exactly. So we need a lot, too much to fix in 1 year, and that shouldn't be in the second year of their reign. I won't say I love Poles. I love what he's doing, but to put anybody that has any chance on being a good player in the NFL, you can't bring them into this offense with that line like that is. But what you're saying makes sense. We're almost forced to pick a quarterback, even if Justin has a great year. It could be maybe it's not the scheme for Justin. Maybe a new quarterback come in and run this scheme like the Dickens. I don't know. I just think it's a lot that's going on with us, and I don't think one major move is going to be the answer. Uh, Even if we go into the draft looking at a quarterback, what is that going to prove? That we can draft another quarterback because that line is terrible right now. And
Yeah.
yeah, they banged up too, but come on. Tevin Jenkins, every time I turn around, he's hurt again. Nate ain't been well since he got in here. Every time I turn around, he's questionable. So we don't even know
Very.
what kind of line we got because they always hurt. It's just too many holes right now within this organization.
So what
You know,
would y'all do in that position? Justin finishes the season off strong, but the record is still poor. 3 to 5 wins or whatever, 6. And then we ended up in at the top of the draft, 2 picks at the top of the draft, because Panthers probably going to be poor as well. So what would y'all do? Y'all would y'all get a quarterback, or would y'all draft offensive line? What would you do?
I'm gonna be honest. I would stick with Fields because we have it's more options. If he do good, we can always tag his ass. If he don't, we don't have to pay him. So I think we got more options with the quarterback position than we do with others. I think we need to go to the line in the draft. If we got the 2 first top picks or top 5 picks, I know it sounds crazy. I'm going after 2 linemen. I'm sorry. I'm going after 2 of them. I mean, we're desperate. I'm talking about top
desperate
notch.
for sure. Desperate.
They can come in and make a difference.
That the line should have been addressed last season with one of those 2 second round picks. You addressed it the right tackle. You should have went out and got a center. It was plenty. It was decent centers out there. Which was a huge upgrade over Whitehair and definitely Patrick.
And I think we gave away one that man. I think the Washington, the one we got from Iowa. I think he did a better job than they gave him credit for. I don't think they wanted to pay him. He shouldn't have not been let go.
Are you talking about Musty?
The one we got, what was the one? I thought his last name. When his last name Washington, then we get it from Iowa.
Mustafa?
No. Young black guy.
Oh, Daniels.
Daniels.
Yeah, I agree.
He was our guard, right?
But he played center as well.
They brought him in to play center, but Whitehair went to center, and they moved him to guard because he was playing both positions.
That's right. Yeah, I like that a lot too.
They let him go to Pittsburgh for the same amount of money that they paying Nate Davis.
Yeah. So I think he shouldn't have been let go. I think we'd have been in a better position now with him. And then you can't argue when Tim is in there, we're running the ball better. I'm sorry. He's a monster if he can stay healthy. He kind of reminds me of Long. Nasty disposition what a lineman's supposed to have, but they can't stay healthy.
Well, Tony knows Jinx is my guy. I love me some Jinx. But at the same time, he's not healthy.
Yeah. The best weapon is to be available, right?
Right.
And he hasn't been available.
I got to hear that.
On the side. Come on. Right. Look at the line. Look at the line if you would have kept Daniels, right? You got Daniels, you got Jenkins, you got Darnell Wright. That's good right there.
Yeah, that's a really good interior.
That's a really
good interior.
So
they can with that you can make up for Whitehair's
efficiencies. Yeah.
There you go.
You can even slide it because the way you hire, the way I was taught, the way you hire a lineman that ain't doing what he's supposed to do, you put him at guard. And we could have slid Whitehair at guard, put Daniel at the center where he was at when we got him, and we would look a lot better than we're looking now.
But Whitehair he's already at guard, and he's still not.
I thought they put him back at center. Who was at center then?
Patrick was at center.
Oh, that's Patrick. Right. You're right. Yeah. We got him.
Here is at guard, and he's still not.
Yeah, we got that guy, Patrick, so that we could move Whitehair back to what's supposed to be his. Didn't they say it was his natural position was guard?
Supposedly.
I don't know what their definition of natural is, but I don't think it is. I
still think Mustafa was better than Patrick.
Yeah.
Hey, I think they could have spent more money in free agency on the O line as much as they were doing on the D line. It's like,
well, you know what? If they would have spent more money on the offensive line, I think we'd be in better shape.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand how can you have the top pick in the draft, all that money in cap space, and we still having this
one lineman that can play day one, and then you get one in free agency that can play day one, and that's it. And the line was that poor last year. You got to spend more time, more money, more resources in the line, more draft picks, more free agency. You got to stack that line where it's 2 lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's something that I had talked about, that we have no depth.
Yeah.
Along that offensive line, no depth at all.
And I think that the one that then we give what was his name, Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah,
we let him go, didn't we?
Yep, we let him go.
That was a mistake.
Cleveland picked him up.
Yeah. So,
but for what you're saying, for right now, that's a huge mistake because we need that depth.
Right.
But when he was when he was in the game, he was, as Justin say, too robotic.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but when we talking about just the depth, though, he knew the scheme. He
Yeah,
could come in and feel whatever he needed to feel. I mean, look at with Nate being hurt and Tevin being out, he would have been ideal to at least come in and hold us until they can come back.
yeah, I
You know?
agree.
So
But they want the best five on the field, so they move Whitehair back out to guard instead of leaving him at center because he can't snap the ball.
I
That
feel
that's
I feel like you need 8 starters on the O line. 5 only gonna start, but I mean you got to have at least 2
yeah,
or 3 guys that you can plug in and they can be starters. Not saying that they're going to be as good as your starters, but they could be starters. You know what I
they
mean?
could be starting for somebody else.
Right.
yeah,
I think that was
yeah,
proven when you watch how Patrick Mahomes had to run for his life in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. If you
Man,
ain't comparable linemen that's sitting on the sideline wondering why they're not playing, because they
yeah.
are a potential starter for somebody else, I think you're lacking too. In this league where you got all this, this speed that turns to power, power turning to speed, you got to have a good rotation to keep those linemen fresh. You got the Watt brothers, you got the Bosa brothers, and you got people like Chandler Jones and Khalil Mack out there beating your head. You definitely need some comparable people to come in and give you a break from, time to time.
I just had a flashback when Khalil Mack hip tossed that one
From Tampa Bay,
yeah. I was like, damn, that's a big dude he just hip tossed.
almost twice his size when you look at the mass on the brother, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I did not know Khalil was that strong. I really
Right.
didn't.
Right. That was like, whoa.
Could you imagine his first step and putting that power hand to your chest? If he can throw somebody that's almost 370 pounds over his hip with one arm,
Right.
that first punch out of that first step got to be a mother.
Gotta be. Gotta be. Reminiscing a little bit.
Hey, that's all we got right now, brother.
Yeah, that's true. Think
Hey,
about that. What 18 season? That's all we got.
That's all we got.
Last
That
winning
was
season that
beautiful.
we.
We put Green Bay out the playoff and made the playoff on the same game.
Yeah.
and then we had a kicker that blew it off for us.
Oh my God. He made the double joint what it is today.
And for some reason, we thought that's all we needed the next season was a kicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't work
Yeah.
out that way.
But you know what? I had been, a couple of friends of mine, we talk about it. We always go out for the draft and everything. And I said, it's almost to the point where I think that they ought to be forced to sell. They remind me, remember when they forced the Clippers to sell because he was basically just using them as a cash cow?
Yeah.
It's almost the same like that with this organization. I just don't understand how everybody is getting better but us. Look at Detroit. Are you kidding me? Detroit's going to come up before we do?
I wouldn't say it should be forced to sell because I feel like the Bears top brass is doing everything they can. They're not football. They're not football, but they're trying to put everybody in place that is football. They went and got a new president. They went and got a new GM. They got an assistant GM, something they never had. So I think they're trying to put the pieces there. It's just maybe not the right pieces. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they haven't had time to do anything either. But again, I mean, could it be that the reason why we haven't had those people in place is because they're not football people?
Could be, but if you're owner of a franchise, doesn't I mean it's probably a bunch of owners of these franchises that aren't football people. They just got cash.
I get it, but to be the storied franchise that we are,
Right.
we got to be sitting better than this. It's been too many years,
Right.
too many. I mean, given 2006, given 2018, even 2010. Remember, the Packers beat us to go to Super Bowl in 2010.
Right.
It's just they space too far. We ought to be relevant
Every year.
Every season.
Every
Every
season.
season.
We should be relevant, and we were all the way up through the 90s. We were, and then we just, as the time changed in the NFL, we didn't.
Hey, you just jogged my memory again. Lovey Smith fired with a 10-6 record. I
Yeah.
mean, he
We
kept
we
us
we
relevant. He kept us
we,
relevant.
we, we got to get that stank off of us.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. He did us a solid by giving us the first pick. Go hire that dude as a consultant or
something,
something for this
something.
defense because the
Yes,
defense is trash. He's ran the defense before. He can provide you some type of input where you can get better on that defense. You run into Tampa too.
But does he have a
Why
voice?
not use him?
He didn't come up with these guys though. These aren't his guys. He wasn't in camp with them. He wasn't training them. He wasn't practicing with them. Are they going to listen to him?
Why not?
I think what he's done, and you think about it, with everything that has changed in the league, the Tampa 2 is still relevant. And that's what he hang his hat on. That's
Sure.
where when everybody talk about Tampa 2, they talk about Lovey and Tony Dungy.
And Marinelli.
So, Marinelli, yes, Marinelli. Marinelli with that defensive front, we should never let him go in the first place. Anyway, I won't get off track. But I think that he has done enough with the Tampa 2, and with the respect that is given today, I think they would listen to him.
Okay. I was just throwing it out there. I like to play devil's advocate,
No, you're right. It is, because if they already lost the locker room, you bring somebody else in that's just going to be another distraction, then don't do it.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
I think even previous players, they still got too much respect for Lovey.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And if you value those players and their opinions, some of the today's players may value our players as well, may value the old players as well. And I'm losing my train of thought, but I do think the new players that we got today could value what old school players have to say.
Yeah. So do we bring in a consultant, not another D coordinator, but just a consultant for the defense?
Yeah,
you got to try anything at this point.
Yeah,
I believe so, because now that I'm thinking about it, if they sit up, they listen to Peanut, they listen to Briggs, they listen to Forte when they come in and talk. Why not bring in Lovey as well?
Yeah. He did. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, J man. That makes a lot of sense. If the players from his regime are coming in and they listen to him, then why not listen to the head guy in charge?
Facts.
That's what because all of them played up under Lovey and they all had success under Lovey.
That's now the question is, does Lovey want to be there? Does he care about the Bears? It's like unceremoniously released.
Well,
Sit them.
I mean, hey, I get that though. I get that, but you know what? A chance to say "I told you so," or a chance to come back and finish what you started may drive him. With the move, nobody's ever going to say he did it on purpose with that number 1 pick, but that says that he still like us a little bit. Maybe he want to come back.
I agree.
Maybe he wants to come back.
He got something in that bag for us.
And
because he's the only one that came in and said his first job was to beat the Packers, and did he not do it?
Yeah,
he didn't do it as much as we would love him to. But that year, when he said that's what he was going to do, he came in and did it, put foot to butt, and that's why he got the chances that he got with us. That's why we're still talking about him years down the road, and he's been gone for so long.
Facts. And
you got it right there wrong.
My boy Fangio over in Miami doing it, man. His defense is tough.
Dude, another one we should have gave a coaching job to, just to keep him in at least
assistant head coach or something.
Well, they tried that the first season with Nagy, and then he ended up going to Denver. So
I don't think he respected Nagy. I think he thought that Nagy was a waste of his time.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe it would have been the same way with Eberflus. I mean, you got 2 rookie head coaches back to back. He's a very experienced coordinator. Like, why would I? Hang my career on these rookies?
Yeah. I don't. When you got 2 guys that can do the same thing, with Eberflus and people like Lovey, it's a waste of talent on somebody's end, because they don't be doing it. They're gonna be fighting for what mine is better than yours, my way is better than yours. I don't think you could bring 2 coaches of that caliber on defense and it's in the same fold and say one is my boss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the human nature is to want to be the best at what you do. And how can I, when the moment I don't look like the star that I claim to be, and you got this guy waiting on me in the folds that's just as prominent on the defensive end as me, how can I do my job looking over my shoulder? I don't think that would be a good combination. But to go to a different sport, basketball, when Boston won with Doc Rivers and Thibodeau, that man was smart enough to get Thibodeau to the ring. At times, you thought Thibodeau was the head coach in Boston, because when he ran his defense, Doc Rivers got the hell out the way and let him do his thing. That's why I think Lovey went wrong. Get your offensive coordinator to do what he need to do. Let him have at it and focus on the defense. Because the defense was top 10 every year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think they think enough. You got a young Sean Payton. You got a young Kyle Shanahan, doing what he's doing. Leave that guy alone. Focus on defense and run the team. Because running a team, you get it. You have to account for every phase of the game. So you might as well get some people that's gonna be head coaches someday to run it, but don't bring two to do the same thing.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Hey, before we check out, I just want to get y'all prediction on next week's game, man. Broncos and Bears, Sunday at noon.
Boy, you trying to make me take the ACT? Hey, he asking the ACT question now. Is there a wrong answer?
There's no wrong answer.
I'm going to say, because I am a Bears fan to the day I pass away, I'm going to say we win a nail biter. I'm going to say 17-13 Bears.
Okay, I can respect that.
J-Mac, what you got, man?
Trash.
Go take
That's what man, this is real tough for me right now, especially with the energy on the team. This time I'm going with my heart. I'm not gonna go with logic. I'm gonna go with my heart, because Denver got a lot of talent as well, and I'm gonna have to go with my heart and say we're gonna put some points on the board. I'm gonna say 33-20 Bears.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Give
with
us a
my
nice
heart.
little cushion too.
Yeah, that's a bona fide blowout in our book, huh?
right.
Yeah.
That's a blowout.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Good one, Earl. Hey,
I got at least 3 turnovers for us on our behalf. We get at least 3. We're
Right.
not in garbage time.
Right.
I got a question. I don't watch Denver, so have y'all seen their O-line? What do their O-line look like? Pass protection, run
I don't know,
blocking.
but we can go back and watch. So
yeah.
Well, I'll say this: they're not too much better than us. Russ is running just as much as Fields, so I would give them the slight edge over our line in that they're all healthy. But that's about the best I could do, because Russ is running for his life too.
Got you.
So, from what I saw.
21-20 Bears. That's my prediction.
Okay. I don't think it's going to be either a blowout. I hope so. J-Mac, I hope you're right. I would love
hey,
to be wrong.
if we get a blowout, we're going to be singing and dancing in the streets.
there you go. We coming.
That might be our Super Bowl, man.
Coming.
Right. We coming.
Both teams 0-3 right now. I mean, somebody going 0-4.
Yeah, somebody got to step up.
Yeah, it would be nice to get our first win. I tell you what, though, if they turn around and hang 30 on us and we don't score at least 20 points, somebody's head gonna be in the crosshairs.
If they hang 30 on us, somebody got to get fired, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
just for them hanging 30, that's enough. Yeah, somebody got to get fired.
Especially when they can't score more than 20, and it was a lot of garbage time after them 7 points was put up. Right. It was a lot of garbage time for them not to be able to put up more than 20. Yeah, we should go in there and handle our business. The same foot that Sean Payton got in their ass, Fluke should have in our ass.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. But let me ask this one question before you get up out of here. Are we overreacting?
Yes.
As a fan base?
Yes.
Oh, I know you would say that.
I'll say yes because it's only the third game of the season. I'm going to say no when you see the product they put on the field. Do you actually see what they got, or the product they put on the field? Do you see us getting better? I don't, because I don't see no positives. I don't see Justin Fields checking down when he's in trouble. I don't see him taking off when he can. I see him over thinking everything. Our line is not showing us anything. They getting away from the run. Our receivers not helping out the quarterback. I don't see any positives to say that we won't be a total train wreck this year. So again, by being the third game, yeah, we overreacted. But what I've seen and what you guys seen, come on, honestly, do you think we overreacted? I don't.
So of those things you were saying, I think those players and those coaches are aware of all of that. And I think because they're aware of it, I think that there's some room. Of course, there's tons of room for improvement, and I think there will be some improvement as the season goes along, and in a lot of areas. As far as Justin, especially with Justin, Justin is a very very intelligent quarterback. I don't think he's just going to keep going through the same motions week after week after week. He's thinking about it. He's working on his game. He's trying to figure it out with what he has as far as the coaches, is what he has as far as his O line, what he has as far as his receivers, Claypool. He's trying to figure these things out, and I think he will eventually. And I think as the season progresses, me personally, I just think he'll get better, even if the team around him don't get better.
Right.
You know?
I can see that.
I can see that too. Just hope that he's still standing upright by game 6.
Man, you know what? That is something that's been crossing my mind before the season even started, and even after he made the statement last week that he was just going to play his game. I was like, this man finna go out here and get hurt.
Yeah, because
I hope not.
It's human nature to go back to what works for you, and to think that there ain't defensive coordinators out there thinking the same thing. He's on tape now, and even though he hasn't ran it as much, it's still back there. They're playing him for the run before they're gonna play him for the pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They rather have him in the pocket.
Yeah. He's too indecisive.
Until he proves that he can beat them from the pocket, they're gonna keep him in the pocket.
Yeah. He's gonna have that spy on him, that's gonna, mimic all his movements until he can put some passes on the dot, and receivers help him out by catching the darn thing. Yeah.
I was talking about his intelligence, and it reminded me there's a test that they take, and
the Wonderlic.
I don't know if it's the Wonderlic, but it's a test that's given. He's actually had the highest test score in the history. So he's not only he's an athletic freak, he's intelligent. You know what I'm saying? He can put it all together. You know what I'm saying? I think he can put it all together. That's my opinion.
To me, that says coaching.
Right.
That says coaching.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's coaching, and I think the overall problem is coaching. Yeah. Not enough experience on our coaching staff is the problem.
Yeah. Right. Maybe they need consultants everywhere in the building. Consultants with the head coach, a consultant with the OC, a consultant on defense. Maybe just need somebody with some experience looking over their shoulder like, nah, that ain't it.
I tell you, before they do that,
maybe they just need somebody with some experience, period.
Well, yeah, I think that ship has sailed with this regime. I mean, we got what we got now, so
I think a lot of this money. I think a lot of the moves we made are money moves in the sense that they want to make sure we have some. I think some of these picks with these players not moving forth with some of the picks we should have made in free agency, I think is to make sure we have enough money so that when we do find the people that we want, whether it be coaches or not, it'll be there for us. The problem is, again, with not beating the Packers and not being a better team on the field, I don't think the fan base would allow them to get to that point. They got to put something that we can cheer for in order to give them the time that they need, because we can see what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? But the fan base, especially the younger ones, that this younger fan base hang their hat on wins and losses, not on effort like we would. We can see the effort behind the play that says, okay, next week we got something to do. Right. This younger generation hang everything on wins and losses. Not the work behind the wins and losses.
Yeah, patience is not at an all-time high. Yeah.
At the same time, we don't see that effort.
That's it. And then the effort's not there to say that we're going to go upward, that we are trending upward. Nothing says that for us right now. And I love these guys. I mean, I absolutely love the game of football, and my favorite team is the Bears all day. But in that same voice, man, y'all act like y'all don't care about the fans with the things that y'all do, the moves that y'all make, the team y'all putting on the field. It's just like, that's why I say it almost seems like they should be sold, because you don't know how bad we feel and the crap we got to take when we lose to these punks in Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then this guy come out and say, "I still own you," and we don't crack his head the very next game we played him. Come on, that we have to hear that every day.
Yeah, I
And
think he just transferred ownership to Jordan Love. I saw something.
yeah, it
That's
was
a
a
mouth.
meme showing
That's a
transferring
mouth shot
ownership to Jordan
instantly.
Love.
That's
Yeah,
an instant mouth shot. As soon as
Yeah,
they say it, hit him in the
yeah,
mouth.
and I think that translates to the part where we don't have we don't want to wait for him to get better. We want to see it now. We don't have the patience anymore, especially when this guy, he texts and I think it was they were saying that he texted Jordan Love after he beat us and saying something, whatever, to the fact that they still own us. That's horrible to have to wake up to on a Monday morning.
it is, man. As diehard fans, we live this emotional roller coaster with this team, and the roller coaster has been going on a downward
Down.
motion.
I'm running out of jokes to defend this, man. I just, I'm on Facebook. I go all day
YouTube,
with these cats.
YouTube.
I'm running out of material, man.
Oh my gosh, you sound a lot like me. But I'm gonna have to go into work today. I'm gonna have to deal with a Chiefs fan, and then I'm gonna have to deal with this guy who got Justin Fields on his fantasy team. I've been constantly telling him, man, you need to put Fields in. He's gonna pop this week. I gotta go eat them. I gotta go eat them words to myself
Hey,
today.
I have a coworker, and all he keep telling me is Justin Fields is a running back, man. Y'all better go get y'all a quarterback and put that man in the backfield like it's a running back. I'll just be like so angry with him, man. I'll be like, stop talking to me. Did you watch the game? And he'll be like,
Yeah,
nah. So be quiet then.
yeah, yeah. And a lot of these guys that talk the mess, they watch these sports shows and they get their material from them. They don't actually
Facts.
watch the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why, Justin Fields is a hell of a quarterback. And
Yeah.
the best thing that could happen to Justin Fields is what's happening now early in his career. And he has stability with the coach staff coming back. Because remember, this is only the first time that he had the same playbook and coaching staff.
Yeah.
Same
And
thing with Trubisky. Trubisky had what? I think he only had one season with us where he had the same staff.
yeah.
So that plays a part. That plays a part. Coming in, now I got to learn this. I just learned this terminology, and I don't know if you guys heard a play call in the NFL lately. It's like a small paragraph.
Right. Right.
Terminology is not that easy to grasp.
And me and J Mac was having a conversation, and I was saying Fields really in year one to me
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he was under Nagy, wash. Last year, tore down the team, nothing around him. That's a wash.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
But
I feel like I'm making excuses for him, but
no, you're not. It's true.
in reality, it's the real deal.
But
But when you get
in the same sense, the fans don't want to hear that, and
exactly what I was gonna say, J Mac. We don't want to hear it. You don't want
right,
to hear it.
and
You got to put some
unfortunately,
wins.
the organization is not going to want to hear it either.
No, no. If you ain't beating the Packers, you ain't getting no slack.
Facts.
That's just all.
Facts on facts on facts on facts.
Everything goes over easier when you beating the green and gold guys up north.
Yeah, a lot easier. I can agree. I can eat my oatmeal a little bit better.
Man,
It
I'm
goes
about to go
down
buy
better
some
when
oatmeal.
with a victory.
You know what? I was gonna get on the grill today. I can't even find the energy, man. I can't even find the energy. It's going might be hot dogs and pork and beans today, man. I don't know.
That's funny. That's funny. Hot dogs and pork and beans.
Hey, that's a hot dog pork and bean kind of day, man. Ain't no
Oh
sun
man.
out. It's overcast. It's like doomsday around this joint, man.
Oh.
Hey man, find yourself some comfort food, uplift your spirits a little bit.
Wow. Oh, okay.
And on that note,
Yeah. Okay. I have to agree. I have to agree.
hey, if y'all don't have anything else, man, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. But I appreciate y'all coming in, man. We had a great conversation, and I look forward to many more of these. We did a really good job today, man, breaking down our squad, and hopefully our squad give us something to look forward to next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully it's more of a happy mood next Monday
Yeah.
when we do this, and let's bear down.
Hey, I want to say thanks for inviting me, man. I had an awesome time. This is my first podcast ever. Hey, like J Mac said, man, maybe we can get a little bit more laughs on the behalf of a win instead of laughing at our
There you go. There
dysfunctional
you
family
go.
right now.
Facts.
There you go. It was good meeting you, brother Earl.
Thanks, same
Thanks for having
here,
me
man.
on, Tom.
All right, fellas, and I'm gonna talk to y'all next week, man.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
man. Please give me a shout out.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah, definitely.
All
All
right.
right, guys. Y'all have a
All
nice
right.
day.
Have a great one.
Yeah.